Mr. Moody, can you please take roll call?
Sure, I will do just that. Thank you, Madam President. Board Member Jeff Bennett. Board Member Deirdre Brown. Board Member Elizabeth Callahan.
Here.
Board President Nubia Duval Wilson.
Here.
Board Member Regina Eckert.
Here.
Board Member Bill Gifford. Board Member Bimal Kapatia. Board Member Will Meyer.
Here.
Board Member Shayna Sackett Gable.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum.
Please take notice that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in the following manner. That written notice was sent from the Office of the Secretary of the Board at 2:30 p.m. on January 3rd, 2025. That said notice was sent via email to the Maplewood and South Orange Township clerks and the editors of the News Record, Star Ledger, Tappan Soma, and the Village Green. I would now like to make a motion to enter executive session at 6:32 p.m. to discuss attorney-client matters and personnel. The length of the executive session is estimated to be 30 minutes, after which the public meeting of the board shall reconvene and proceed with business where formal action will be taken. May I have a second? Thank you. Board Member Eckert, all in favor? Great, let's go. Good evening. I'm going to read the board president update statement, and then we'll have public speaks, and then we vote. So tonight is our organizational staff renewal special meeting, during which we vote on staff renewals for the district, along with those who are up for tenure. We also have another important vote tonight. It's our teacher's contract for 2024-27. Before we get started, I would like to share some acknowledgements. First, thank you to the district for working with the board to ensure performance reviews were conducted. After we received our QSAC audit where we lost points because of incomplete evaluations, we agreed as a board last fall to strengthen oversight through committee work to address this issue. We appreciate the SLT team, HR, and CNI for working together with our building administrators and supervisors to stay on schedule with evaluations. Compliance with this process ensures accountability and enables our board to more confidently pass these recommendations with our votes tonight. Next, as I said, we're passing our 2024-27 contract for our district's amazing teachers who work hard both inside and outside of the classroom to support our students. We truly appreciate the community's patience and understanding as we've worked through this process with Somaya leadership and the district. Although this process began in February 2024, we did not confirm the percentage of salary increases until after our first negotiations meeting on January 7th, 2025. That January 7 meeting started at 5:30 p.m. and lasted until after midnight. A special shout out to Mr. Bing for buying us pizza. Oh yeah, no, Regina, Liz, and I really enjoyed our pizza sharing moment together around midnight. And a shout out to the negotiations committee for their endurance. After months and long meetings in between to finalize the salary guides, we are here today to deliver a contract that will enable more than 700 teachers to receive their raises this summer. Teachers, please know we appreciate you and we thank you for your patience. At a time when the country's Department of Education is in flux, government aid is not a definite, and the state of New Jersey is experiencing a teacher shortage, as is the rest of the country, it is imperative that we continue to create an environment in SOMSD that is attractive to new teachers while also supporting our teachers who have been here for years. Lastly, there was a resolution on policy 5120, assignment of students, to skip the May AAA survey this year for a number of reasons, including the fact that the district is planning to revise the survey to more effectively collect data that will have greater impact on the success of the III. There have been a number of surveys and data collection instruments to our district families in recent months that have provided insights for us, such as the III survey released at the end of January 2025, the Seton Hall University Market Research Project, the Hanover Research Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging Survey, and the NJ Sky Culture and Climate Survey, which is going on right now. We look forward to discussing the district's adjustments to the III survey at a future Rutgers committee meeting. Now I'll read the board president's statement. The school board meeting is a business meeting in public and not a meeting with the public. Oftentimes, it may appear to members of our audience that the Board of Education takes action with very little comment, and in many cases, a unanimous vote. Before a matter is placed on the agenda at a public meeting, it has thoroughly been reviewed by the administration, the superintendent of schools, and the Board of Education, after which it is placed on the agenda for board discussion and action at a public meeting. Do we have public speaks? Has anyone looked at the, Mr. Moody?
It doesn't appear we have anyone.
Okay, all right, just want to make sure, so then I will skip hearing of delegations. So that means that we are now brought to the action portion of the meeting. Mr. Moody, can you please read the resolutions into record? And then we will have Deirdre, our board member Brown, read our survey resolution into record. But first, can you please read the
Sure.
resolution into record?
Yeah, the board is being called upon to take action on items 4798, 4799, 4800, 4801, 4802, and 4803. So we can move forward with that.
All right, resolution to SOMSD BOE policy 5120. Whereas the South Orange Maplewood Board of Education recognizes the importance of gathering meaningful feedback from students, families, and staff to inform decisions related to district strategy, school supports, and professional development. And whereas Board Policy 5120 outlines the implementation of the Experience Survey as a tool for collecting such feedback regarding the Intentional Integration Initiative. And whereas the Board of Education is committed to continuous improvement and regularly evaluating the effectiveness of its tools and practices. And whereas the district is currently undertaking a comprehensive review of feedback mechanisms and exploring more effective and strategic approaches for collecting data to inform planning, policy development, and program implementation. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the South Orange Maplewood Board of Education hereby waives the directive to the administration to conduct the experience survey for May 2025 under Board Policy 5120. Be it further resolved that the board supports the administration's efforts to identify and implement improved strategies for collecting and utilizing feedback to guide adjustments to district strategy, school supports, and professional development. Be it finally resolved that the board will revisit this matter upon the conclusion of the district's review and will consider any proposed updates to Board Policy 5120 that reflect new or revised approaches to gathering stakeholder input.
Thank you, Board Member Brown. Any comments before we vote? Yeah. Yes, Jeff?
I move that 4801 be severed and considered separately.
Mhm. And that's the one for the surveys? correct?
Yes,
Yes.
pertaining to 5120.
Okay, make sure Mr. Moody, did you
Yes.
hear that, Mr. Moody?
Yes, severed. Mhm.
So I just wanted to note for the public that the personnel resolutions up for vote tonight currently only list the staff member names. Typically, they'll include the salaries. The plan is to present an updated resolution at a future board meeting that will include these once the SOMEA and ASCA contracts are fully ratified, the former of which we are voting on this evening.
So still getting used to the new system over here. So why don't we vote on policy? My computer's stuck, so I don't remember the number.
Sure,
the
I
one
can,
that Bennett
Voting
severed.
on policy items, I'm actually on
Not policy, but resolution.
the actions 4798 through 4803 with 4801 severed.
Yeah.
Okay, so that will be the first vote, and I'll begin that roll call vote now. Board Member Bennett,
Just confirm, this is like for the, everything other than 4801.
correct, the non-severed items.
Yes.
Board Member Brown,
Yes.
Board Member Callahan,
Yes.
Board Member Duval Wilson,
Yes.
Board Member Eckert,
Yes.
Board Member Gifford. Yes. Board Member Kapadia,
Yes.
Board Member Meyer,
Yes.
Board Member Sackett Gable.
Yes.
Okay, so we.
Okay, order in the house.
And now on to the other item that was severed, action item 4801. So I'll conduct a vote there. Board.
hold
do you
on.
want more?
Yeah, well, we can have
Discussion?
discussion.
Oh,
okay.
Yes.
Would we get to this? Don't we get to
Sure, you can
discuss it?
discuss now, sure.
So for the public, this pertains to the III Experience Survey, which was called for in policy 5120, as it originally passed, I think, in 2021. You know, the district's supposed to do two experience surveys per year, one in January and another in May. And those months are named in the policy. And, you know, in the first year, the III, the district did not do any survey. And then in years 2 and 3, and then in this January 2025, the district did do the surveys, but you know, certain people like me and others now believe that the III survey could be much broader. You know, the III survey's questions are 18 out of 19 about like the culture and climate of the schools, which is incredibly important. But there's only one question about hardship. And it's just like, are you in hardship? And there's no follow-up questions about like what kind of hardship someone could be in. It could be in because like the child is a very long bus ride, or the child's an isolated placement, or it could be like an emotional hardship, which could also be logistical, of like someone who's like 1 block from a school, but like assigned to a school 2 miles away. It could be like hardship because like, 3 of our elementary schools start at 8:53, which the teachers here know, or like, the child might be picked up at like 7:20 for an early start school by the bus. Like, there are a lot of different kinds of hardships someone could be in. And like, I think that we should, at least ask some follow-up questions about like what's the source of someone's stress or hardship. This is something I have spoken about before, like in June 2024, I spoke in public speak saying that we should have a broader III survey. And then, like I said, it like once I was like on the board of education, starting this January. So it's a bit disappointing that like the board and the administration didn't start like an earlier conversation about changing the III survey. I've been told that in like 2024 and 2023, it did come up, but it wasn't really pursued. I'm glad that the administration does realize that we have to like revise the survey in one way or another. But I just don't accept that we can't do it now because like we ask you guys to do some really difficult things that are hard budgetarily, things that require like navigating a thicket of regulations, and you do it. Things that are very complex contractually, which we all just went through. And I think that we could like, subtract a few questions, add a few others without that much difficulty. I also think like, we could disaggregate responses by families who are assigned to their proximate school versus a non-proximate school. Like we can, and we do disaggregate by race, so we can be able to do it by proximate versus non-proximate. I know that like some people have said that it's not an option to revise the survey in time for May. And I hear that, but even if we don't do that, and even if we can't figure out a way to disaggregate proximate versus non-proximate, like I still think it's worth doing because like we have the open-ended questions in the III survey and parents could still fill that out. And, some people might see that we're doing another survey and blow it off, but other people might actually say, all right, I'm going to do it this time. I missed it in January, I'm going to do it now. So we might get some new responses. And anyone who answers can actually fill in the open-ended questions, which we have. Like we have that. And even if we don't do any better with the May survey, even if we don't get any more like really insightful responses than we got in January 2025, I still think it's worth it because it's an opportunity for the Board of Education to discuss the III placement process, which we don't really discuss that much in public, except for when Michael Alves speaks to the board, even though it's probably like the most important policy that we locally control. So I move that we actually continue with the May 2025 survey. Hopefully making some improvements. Like we don't want to make the perfect the enemy of the good, but even if we can't change it, like we should do it because it gives another set of parents a chance to respond, and it gives the Board of Education Administration a chance to discuss the III. I don't want to talk too much. Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Gifford. One thing I will, this seems, so, sorry, Bennett, I'm tired. Like, where's Gifford? He's over there. Yeah, thank you, Board Member Bennett. I was going to say, you made me think of two things. One, I think that we should encourage our community to provide feedback when they feel they need to provide feedback, and they don't need to wait for a survey. If there are parents out there or caregivers that want to give us feedback on their III experience, they should feel empowered to send us an email or just send it to Mr. Bing. And also, Dr. Gilbert has informed us that when we have our the ALS group come next month, they'll be presenting, but then Dr. Gilbert is also going to be presenting cumulative data on all of our surveys. And I think that will provide us a really good opportunity to even more have that dialogue that you're talking about, Board Member Bennett, and also discuss ways to improve it so that the district is even more armed to do this work. And I don't take it lightly. I don't think we should take it lightly how much work it takes to put a proper survey together. Even just observing Seton Hall and their process over the past couple of months, it did not take them 30 days. They have been working with us since 6 months. So we don't want the district to rush. They have been very busy. And so I do respect the time that it takes to do this. And I also appreciate all of your thoughts. Was there anyone else that wanted to? No? Yeah.
I was just going to say, I appreciate your passion, Jeff Bennett. I think you're always focused on transparency, and I think that's great. I just know as FFT chair, we were very demanding of this administration in terms of getting us a lot of documents. And I think that it's been very busy for them. And if they need a little bit more time, you know, but I appreciate your passion, Jeff.
I know how the vote's going to go. But like, could we, I'm fine with that. I think maybe like everyone who's on the board should like be at least once on like the small side of like an 8-1 vote or a 7-2 vote or something. But you know, could we like commit though to like trying to release the new survey in the fall of next year instead of waiting till January? Like,
Yes, actually, that is something that we discussed, that January and May, they're just so close together. That why don't we do in the beginning of the, did we not already talk about this, Chuck? No? Maybe it was Regina and I that, go on, Regina.
Jeff, we've had countless very fruitful conversations about the III and the survey, and we are always so aligned. You know, I think, honestly, I think the resolution kind of captured, I think, high level why we're not doing it. And as somebody actually who came onto the board when they did start the survey, I think there's a lot to be improved with it. And so, you know, listen, at the end of the day, yes, the administration has a lot of work on their plates. The III is something that is one of our most important. There's a lot of smiling right now. But I think, I just want to reiterate, like, this vote isn't saying that the board does not want to collect any feedback and is going to stop the survey. And I believe it was in our last Rutgers committee meeting, we did talk about that revised timelines of like fall and then maybe right after the new year, something that's a little bit, makes a little bit more sense. And also being able to capture more useful information. I think what we found is not through only the survey fatigue of just every survey that's been going out, but even through III. I know specifically for this round, you know, Dr. Gilbert, it was a lot of push. So, you know, I look forward to improving that process and then continuing to collect feedback from those families.
I'll just add quickly, because I echo what's already been said. The June Rutgers committee meeting, on the agenda for that is timeframes and milestones for updating the survey and testing it and administering it. So hopefully we can get some firm timelines then.
Okay, let's, oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I too will figure out the old model someday. I appreciate, I think, both sides of it, right? I think I feel a little torn myself on this. I just want to make sure as we consider whether to pause the May survey or not. So just want to make sure that we emphasize the importance of how we're framing feedback and making adjustments to the survey. I think it's important that we don't characterize input from the committee solely through the lens of hardship or fatigue, but being open-minded to the responsibility to recognize that some families, some stakeholders are actively engaged, whether they're sending us emails through these other surveys, that could also be both confirming or affirming rather, and constructive. And so I just want to make sure that as we're doing that, that it feels like this is an investment, not a burden, and that we really do want to make sure that the feedback that we're getting, whether we decide to move forward and get it now or later, is through the frame of having a balanced approach so that we can make effective decisions moving forward, whether, again, it's through someone who has, you know, affirming feedback because they've had a positive experience, or areas where we, you know, could constructively get better.
Thank you, everyone. I think, is discussion complete on this one? All right. So for action item number 4801, I'll conduct a roll call vote. Board Member Sackett Gable,
Yes.
Board Member Meyer,
Yes.
Board Member Kapadia,
Just for clarity here, if I'm saying yes.
but you're voting forth the resolution to delay the survey.
No.
Okay. Board Member Gifford,
Yes.
Board Member Eckert,
Yes.
Board President Duval Wilson,
Yes.
Board Member Callahan,
No.
Board Member Brown,
Yes.
Board Member Bennett.
no.
Okay. 6-3 passes. Thank you.
There you go. We don't always agree. And that's okay. Okay, so we are now going to close this meeting. So future meetings, the Board of oh, sorry, I forgot. Are there any public speaks? Final public speaks?
Hello? Oh, I'm actually happy that I'm the first one using this one. Rocio Lopez, president of SOMEA, Maplewood resident, AP Spanish teacher, advisor of power, keep going. So today SOMEA is here because, it's about time and we're happy. So we want to thank you. Even though it's been a long ride and it's been difficult, we want to thank you because at the end of the day, we got to the result and we're going to see our colleagues finally getting raises. It's been almost 2 years from the last time we actually got raises. Even though it was a year in contract, it's 2 years since we actually got it. So it makes a difference for people to know that you're going to come back next year and you're going to make more money, that you're going to get a retroactive, check for all the work that you did, that they finally value your work, that they give you a place in the district, because sometimes as SOMEA and, as the educators that we're in the lowest level, we feel forgiven. And we should never be forgiven because you give your loved ones to us. We're the ones that spend the time with your kids. We are actually the ones that we are looking at your kids every day and giving them love and support and empowerment. And I gotta tell you that from the bottom of my heart, thank you. It's about time. And thank you to this board because you have treated us different. And we finally see people that see us. And it was hard in the past because we were just numbers or, just workers. And we're more than that. We're people. We love your kids. After you guys probably were the people that love more your kids that you can know. We suffer with them. We empower them. We're every day with them. And when they get to college, we're happy for them. When they don't, we're there to hold their hand and say, don't worry, this is not the right school for you. You're going to get to a better one. And we're always there. And I don't want you to forget about that because it should not take a year ever to get contracts. It should not take a year ever to make the most important people of this district after your kids to be happy. And again, I thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I need to play this because if I don't play it, it wouldn't be me. And again, I don't have a gag order anymore, so I can do whatever I want. Wait, why isn't this playing?
You're not playing the message I left you last week, are you?
Oh, no, people doesn't want to know the email
Security.
you sent me. Oh, no, people doesn't want to know that. If I say that, we have a problem. Wait, come on, you gotta play this for me. Wait. Why isn't this playing? I do the Bluetooth. I'm an old teacher, but I know how to use these things. Why isn't this linking? I had it before. You all heard it. Well, the song, I'm gonna play it.
Hey.
No. Can you play it for me? Wait. No. Oh, this is what you get from SOMEA. The air. Every time that we're tree. This is what you get from us. Love is in the air. And the thunder in the sea. And I don't know if I'm just dreaming. Don't know today. But something that I must do. It's all out loud. Everybody! Come on, boy. Let's go. Love's in the air. Love's in the air. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you. And as board member Callahan said, it's also Teacher Appreciation Week. It's just nice. Okay, well, I have a good wingman over here who reminded me that we have some online public speaks. So, yes, we do. Today's the 8th, right? So let's see if they're online still. They might have heard the music and thought the meeting was over. Jen Sturm? Is Jen Sturm on?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great.
Please, yep, go on.
Okay, great. Congratulations to Samia, and it really should not take a year. My name is Jen Sturm. I'm here to talk about how the Columbia High School robotics team has been unjustly denied the opportunity to participate in an international competition taking place in South Bend, Indiana from June 19th to 22nd. I'm parent to Z Luciano, the incoming president of the Columbia High School robotics team. It's the end of Z's 3rd year on the team, and next year will be their 4th and final. I don't know what you know about this program, but up till this year, the club was like the Bad News Bears. I mean, this is no insult to anyone. I love the Bad News Bears. But up till this year, the 2 teams that comprise the club had so much heart, but without a faculty advisor and without any funding from the school district and without really any support at all from the school other than a room, they lost more than they won. There was no advisor because nobody wanted to do it. And then this year, Suzanne Falk stepped up, and I mean she stepped up. I don't believe Ms. Falk had any experience with robotics prior to this year. She set about to change that from day one, pouring so much heart and time into the club and the competitions. Ms. Falk and Mr. R both. And then a crazy thing happened. Both of our teams started winning tournament after tournament. Their robots are actually incredible this year. Both teams made it to states, and both made it far in the playoffs for the World Championships. I don't know if you know how important that is, but let's just acknowledge that the kids in the robotics room day after day are the future inventors, mechanical, chemical, and aerospace engineers, architects, academics. They're brilliant, each and every one of them. These kids, when they graduate college and go on to their careers, are going to be putting Columbia High School on the map every single day, despite the lack of investment the school has made into the club. Which is why I'm here today, because the lack of investment in this club has been embarrassing for the past 3 years. But as I learned from Z last night, what's even worse is that while one of the teams was invited to participate in an international competition for which the kids raised $3,000 in 2 weeks, not including the gift Mr. Sanchez secured last week from the Cougar Boosters, because the school year ends June 20th, the district has outright denied them from participating. I'd like to try to make sense of this, but there's none to be made. Between that and the rumors going around that a new teacher will be installed as robotics advisor, I'm wondering if we weren't better off when the school district ignored the existence of this program. Sure, the kids lost, but they didn't have to face this level of
Excuse me, Jen, I
disappointment.
just want to let you know your time is up if you want to just wrap up.
I'm done.
your
That's it.
final
Thank you so
thoughts.
much.
Oh, okay. Thank you. And next we have Dana Luciano from Maplewood.
Yes. Oh, my
Dana.
goodness.
And, oh. Did we lose her?
No. Hi. Sorry, I'm
okay,
having
great.
trouble unmuting. Can you hear me?
You're a little low. If you could speak up, that'd be great.
Okay. Sorry. I'm sorry. Yes. So I'm Dana Luciano. I'm another robotics parent, and I just wanted to add to our confusion, outrage, dismay, and our plea to the school district to reverse this decision. These kids, I mean, this is going to be one of the highlights of their young lives. They worked so hard all year. They've been invited to an international competition. This means so much to them. I don't understand the reasoning. It seems arbitrary. Other clubs and teams participate in, competitions over the summer and during breaks. They don't seem to have paid any attention to how teams actually work, right? Competitions don't respect school districts' calendars. I did notice on the Columbia High School website that the football team is playing scrimmages, including away games, all summer long. So I have to wonder why the football team has this privilege and the robotics team is being denied it. It's almost like a bad high school movie where like the jocks rule the school and the nerds get shoved into lockers. But I have to say, this is not how Columbia wants to be treating an incredibly successful team. They've made this school proud this year. They hosted their first competition in years at Columbia High School. It went beautifully, right? People were very, very excited. Half the district showed up. right? And for the district to then turn around and slap these kids in the face like this is really, it's just shameful. It's not Soma School District that I have known, that we have been in for years, that we moved here in part because of. And I plead with you to reverse this decision and allow this team to participate in this competition and get this honor that they've earned. So, thanks.
Thank you. And that completes our public speaks. So next, I will announce our future meetings. The Board of Education will meet in public session on Thursday, May 29th, 2025 at 6:30 PM, where action will be taken. Mr. Moody, I would now like to make a motion to adjourn this meeting on Thursday, May 8th at 7:20.
I just have a comment.
Uh-uh.
Okay.
At 7:22 PM. May I have a second? Thank you, Board Member Brown. All in favor? And meeting is adjourned. Thanks, everyone.